Jim McBride, Boston Globe. Mike, you've been in a lot of big games as a player and a coach. What is kind of your process to make sure the guys don't get almost too jacked up before a game like this?
Well, I think the process is that you stick to the routine that brought you success, and everybody understands the magnitude of the game, and it's a terrific opportunity for all of us that have the privilege to participate in it. So we're going to go about our business the way we always do, and prepare the way we always do, and obviously when the puck drops, we have to have some controlled emotion. I think that's an important element.
Left side, second row.
Steve Wino, Associated Press. First, Mike, are you considering any lineup changes in terms of Jake Sanderson or Chris Kreider going to the lineup?
We always consider lineup changes.
Just in the switch you made on the D pairs last night, I'm wondering what you saw in those guys and why you think the new pairings that worked so well did work so well.
We had our reasons on why we switched them up. I'm not going to get into what those reasons are specifically, but we just felt that we wanted to effect a little bit of change amongst the pairs back there. We thought it would give us a better opportunity to get potentially advantageous matchups and give us a better chance to win. That inevitably is why we did it.
Left side, first row.
Mike, what's going to be key to shutting down Canada's power play, and how do you even prepare for that with only 12 seconds of film to look at?
Well, obviously it'll be a big challenge. It's hard to key on any one aspect of the group. They have threats, in all positions. I think we're going to have to make sure that from our standpoint, we've got to just make sure that we're predictable for one another. We've tried to instill a certain foundation of our penalty kill, both in zone, off of face-offs, the forecheck up the ice, the entries. Some of the critical aspects of killing that's important for success. We just have to make sure that foundationally that we're on the same page and we're locked in. We're going to have to win face-offs. We're going to have to win puck battles. We're going to have to get clears. If we can make the entries difficult for them and potentially limit their zone time, that goes a long way to helping us have success.
Left side, third row.
Mike, Mark Masters, TSN. What stood out to you watching Crosby's first game in this tournament, and what's the dynamic like for you game planning against him?
Well, I think what stood out to me is probably the same thing that stood out to you and everybody else that watched, right? He's a big game player. I've witnessed it firsthand for a decade now. Sid tends to be at his best when the stakes are high, and that's what I witnessed the other night. I would anticipate he'll be at his best against us.
Right side, third row.
Hi, Mike. Molly Walker, New York Post. Brady was saying last night that he's looking forward to being the villain tomorrow night. Just what do you think embracing that role of villain can do for your team, perhaps?
I just think, Brady brings a certain energy to our team, as does his brother Matthew, that energy tends to be contagious amongst our group. I think these guys are fierce competitors, and I think they get excited about these types of games and this type of an atmosphere. They're good leaders, and they tend to, they drag the whole group into the battle, and so I know they're excited about the opportunity to play in this tournament. Obviously there's a lot of anticipation for this particular game for obvious reasons. I think there's a mutual respect amongst both sides for how talented each group is, but certainly I think Brady's a guy and that is very excited for this opportunity.
Right side, fourth row.
Yeah, Mike, Eric Engels of Sportsnet. You talked about the talent on both these sides. You could argue it's higher than it's ever been for either country. What do you think that can do for the potential of writing a new chapter in this rivalry as international events are committed to at Best on Best for the next few years? Starting with tomorrow.
Yeah, well, obviously I think, I can speak on behalf of the U.S. team. I would imagine Canada's no different. There's a lot of pride, and there's a lot of familiarity on both sides. These guys play with and against each other in the NHL all the time. So there's a lot of familiarity and there's a lot of pride, and so I think when when you have an event like this where it's best on best, I think it brings out the competitive spirit of both sides, players as individuals. But I think the biggest difference is when you have the privilege to play in an event like this and represent your country, I think it's become something that's bigger than any individual. When you have the opportunity to represent your nation, and there's a certain pride that goes with that. I think there's a responsibility to bring your best when you have the privilege to participate in these types of events. So, that there's as deep a talent on both sides as I can remember. I would envision it being a real competitive hockey game.
Right side front row.
Hey, all those things you just talked about for the players on both sides and what they feel and what it means to them. What's it like for the coaching staff? What's it going to be like for you and your staff to go out there tomorrow night? Do you have to worry about containing your own emotions, or what do you expect that's going to be like for you?
We're no different than the players. I think we get every bit as excited as they do. And so, and we have a sense of pride. And so I don't think the coaches on either side are any different from the players. So one of the things that we love about what we do is we're in the heat of the battle. And so it's an incredible honor to coach a group like this and participate in an event like this. And, I think the coaching staff, we have the best seat in the house. It's to watch these guys up close. These are the best players in the game. These are the generational talents that, that pave the way for the evolution of the game with some of the things they do out there and their creativity and the way they think the game and execute at such a high level. It's an amazing honor for us. I don't think we're any different than the players from an emotional standpoint, and we're certainly excited about the opportunity also.
Last one, left side fourth row.
Hi, Mike. Obviously, it's been a very long wait, and I have no doubt that Canada has great anticipation for tomorrow's matchup too. But from your vantage point, is there something like sort of not a revenge, but a sense of proving? Your group wants to prove itself. And probably to a certain extent, I won't you use the word avenge, but there's a prior generation that lost to Canada in the past. Do you feel as though it puts your group in a special mental place of being somewhat of the underdog, despite everything that we've said?
Yeah, I'm not sure. What that narrative is. All I can tell you is this. Our group of players are really excited to represent their nation and compete against a real good team. Obviously this rivalry is well chronicled, and it's, it goes on and on. I think it's an incredible privilege to participate in it. Our guys are excited to earn their way. And that's, it's one of the conversations we've had with them from day one since we've assembled here in Montreal, is that one of the greatest things about our sport is nothing's inevitable. You got to earn it every shift, and you got to earn it every game. You got to earn it every year. This team is a different team than years past. Canada's the same way. We got to go out and we've got to earn it. And for me, that's one of the greatest things of our sport, and I think our guys are excited to try to do that.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
Okay.